Okay, so this is my version of a tailgate bench. You can make it a lot of different ways out of, kind of anything you want, really. So this one here, it's the second one I made. It's a combination of newer wood and reclaimed wood from a barn. The reclaimed part are just the legs. So they used to be barn beams. Um, Actually got a lot more of them here and more of them here and here. They're kind of everywhere right now. I gotta find a new home for them. But I mean, they were all free, so I couldn't turn them down. Either way, so this video is going to be pretty straightforward, and you can kind of customize it as you see fit. So what I did was, first you got to make the frame. The frame is made out of just two 2x4s on the front and the back, and then three 2x4s, one on each end and one in the middle. What you're going to do is you cut your front and back first, cut them to the same length of your tailgate. And then as far as your center brace and your two end braces, you can make it really any width you want. But what I did, the first one I made, it was kind of narrow. I don't like that one as much just because of that. When you sit on it, you kind of feel like you're falling off the front. I only made it the width of 3 pieces of decking. This one I made 4. So like I said, all I did, you measure however wide the decking is. I think it's like 5 5/8 or 3/4. Yeah, it looks like 5 5/8. So you multiply that by 4 and then add about 1/8 of an inch for your spacing. Looks like everything came out to be about 23 inches. And then I just subtracted an inch for the front and the back, so 21 inches is how wide I made it, as far as the frame. And like I said, it's just a 2x4 on the front and 2x4 in the back, middle brace, end brace down there. Everything's all screwed together. Now what I did, you can mount them, the 2x4s on the end. You can mount it flush if you want. That's how I did the other one. But this one here, I wanted to see the sides of the legs here. I just think they look really cool. So, I didn't want to cover that up by boxing this in and having it framed. So the end 2x4s, they're set back the width of the legs. If you don't come across any barn beams and you just want to use a 4x4, then if you want to do it this way, just set it back 3.5 inches, the thickness of your 4x4, and you're good to go. And you'll see them if you want to. So once you have your frame all built, then you have to worry about your height. So what I did, I made it 18 inches. The height, it seems to be pretty standard. It feels comfortable to me. If you're a little shorter, you might want it a little lower. If you're taller, you may want it a little higher. And it's up to you. Just kind of play around with that. If you have, your dining room chairs or whatever, and they feel comfortable, go off of that. Probably 18 inches. So, now as far as the height on your legs, what you have to do is once you have your 18 inches, then you're going to measure the height of the tailgate. This here, it's a mid-80s Chevy C10 tailgate. Picked these up pretty cheap. I got another one over there. That guy. That'll be the next one I make. But yeah, so you just add the 18 inches plus the height of the bench, and whatever that ends up being, that's the length of your back leg. Now the front leg, you don't have to put armrest on it if you don't want. If you don't, then it'll just be your height from the ground to the top of the bench, and then that would be minus the thickness of the decking, so that the decking clears your front leg, obviously. This here, the armrest, I just made them out of 2x6 and then sanded it, stained everything. As far as the height on my armrest, I made it 8 inches from the top of the decking to the top of the armrest. So then you just subtract your 1.5 inches, or if you use something else, and then that's how you figure out the length for your front legs. And then, like I said, these are 2x6s, and I just had to notch it around the tailgate. Turned out pretty good, I think. Just so it's a little cleaner. I mean, you can cut it off square if you want, and, you know, I mean, personal preference, it's up to you. I mean, that's really it. Once I built everything and built the frame, put the legs on, put the decking on, threw the tailgate on, just to test fit it. Then I built my armrests, and then once I had everything built, done, good, took it all back apart, stained all the new wood, just the frame, decking, armrests, and then I left the barn beams. Just old, you know, rustic. Looks pretty cool. Just a nice stained on the old. I think it looks good. But that's just me. And like I said, you can make this however you want. As far as hardware, all I used were 2.5-inch deckmate screws, just for the frame and the decking, and screw the frame to the legs, and pretty much everything. I used the deckmate screws. I use those instead of drywall screws just because this is going to, well, my first one, it's on my front porch, and I just figured if someone did have it on a front porch, then, you know, you don't want drywall screws just to rust and bleed through and all that. I guess it would go with the rust on the tailgate, but whatever. And then to mount the tailgate, I found these cool, let me show you. I think I got these at Home Depot, Lowe's, I don't know, one of those places. See if it'll focus. There you go. These Headlock Screws from Fasten Master. They have other ones, I forget what they're called, but the head looks more like a lag bolt. These, they're flat, so they turned out nice. You know, they sit pretty flush, I think. And then I just mounted, you know, one there, one down bottom on both sides, and that's how that's held on there. And I mean, this thing's pretty solid. It's probably a good 200 pounds, the whole thing. But yeah, that's it. This one here, I had mine. I built it out of a 48 Chevy tailgate. That's the one I have. It was a truck me and my dad, we restored, and the tailgate was shot, so I reused it and made that. But this one here is actually for sale. We have it on Etsy right now. If you search on Etsy for Midnight Rust, then you can find it. I think right now we have a couple things on there, but I'm going to make a lot more stuff to put on there. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below. I don't check YouTube too often. It'd probably be easier to email me. It's midnightrustde@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram. It's Midnight Rust on Instagram. This and a bunch of other cool stuff we've made and that we're going to make. It's all on there, but just wanted to make a quick video of a tailgate bench, and yeah, hopefully I can help somebody out, and you know, they watch this and they make cool stuff. So thanks for watching.